Cool. All right. You're going to go online and you're going to grab some video reference of animals. Okay. All right. We're just going to be doing four-legged animals, cats, dogs, chipmunks, to elephants, rhinoceroses, anything you want to do. You guys learning of animal reference and tracing it with the spheres and how we break it down with the spheres. Essentially, all you need to do is you just create a plane inside of Maya, apply the image sequence to the plane, rip them from YouTube or wherever. No different than doing video reference. And so like right here, I have, just a little action of a cat. I selected this one because you can see it more kind of sideways. I know that video reference is not always easy to find exactly how you want it, especially when we're dealing with animals and kind of creatures, but just try to, if you can, for long sections, avoid Z like this. So a character like running away or running towards you, we want to try to get a lot of X and Y motion out of it. So if there's like a really, really good motion here and then it runs to the distance and then does another really good motion, that's okay, right? That's fine, but we just want to avoid just characters running in Z to or from walking, running, whatever they're going to do. And the reason is you can't really necessarily study their motion because a lot of the time is based on the camera lensing. You don't really know how far they went, right? You just don't know. So here's a good example of a character, sideways. And what we want to do is we want to break up the pelvis and the chest. I use red and blue just because it's very easily seen. And all I'm doing is I just created two spheres and I just kind of punched them through the plane a little bit. Just like that. That's it. Okay. And what you want to start doing, and I'll kind of start with this front one here, is you want to start kind of just rotoscoping over the action. All right, just like this. So you just kind of find some main poses inside of here. All right, kind of go down this way. Right, and then kind of split this in half. Oh, he's up here, right here, and you want to identify just kind of where the chest is. Okay, so like here, obviously we're staying further down here, right? And do not be surprised if in between a lot of this there's going to be a key on every single frame. All right, you might have a key on every frame throughout this entire thing by the time that you're done with it, right? But the point is to just start kind of filling it in. And I'll just kind of sometimes pick random frames. So I do this one. Okay, now, all right, let me cut this one in half. Oh, he's actually a little lower here. Okay, come back over here. Seems to be okay there. Then at the very beginning, actually the first frame, he does go forward a little bit, right? And really, you're kind of making it look like the ball is constrained to him, right? Just on the video. And then you do the same then with the pelvis. It's like, all right, let's do kind of this guy here. All right, we cut this in half. Just a little bit more, kind of round his butt a little bit. Oh, he's doing the jump here. And I know there's going to be motion blur and things like that. So you just really try to do the best you can. Obviously here is one of those Z moments, where the cat turns towards us. It's okay. You can just have them intersect each other. That's all right. Kind of same thing. It's going to go forward and down a little bit. And like I said, remember, you're probably going to have, a key on every single frame by the time that you're done with this, because you really want to get that detail. All right, that's the detail that you truly do want to achieve. All right. The first one you're going to submit is just a play blast from here with the actual background played on it. Okay. And then the second one, all right, you're just going to turn this off and just have the spheres by itself. Okay. So each one you do, you'll have a version with the background and then a version without the background with just the spheres by itself. And we're going to do a lot of these. You'll probably do 100 or more. And a lot of it is just engraving motion into your brain. Okay, because when we do creatures, a lot of times you're not going to find the perfect video reference. A, because the thing doesn't exist, right? And B, it might be doing something that you just don't have online reference for. Or you have a really good reference for here, and then you're able to act it out yourself over here, and there's like 20, 30 frames in the middle where you're just like, what the heck is it supposed to do? The whole point is getting that muscle memory of memorizing animal motion, memorizing these kind of motions, so your subconscious knows how to fill that in. What is it supposed to do? Just like when you first open Maya. For the first time, we all open Maya, we're like, Alt key, rotate, what am I doing? And now it just happens. You just kind of think about it, and then you go to the part in the scene where you want to, right? It becomes second nature to you. You just think about where you want to go, and you're zooming in, you're scaling, you're rotating, you're doing all that. That's what we want to do with the study of animals. Is we want to fill our brain with so much different types of study, and looking at these spheres and looking how it breaks down, that when we get presented with a portion of animation that we don't have reference for, our brain kind of already knows how to fill it in. We can kind of see it in our mind's eye. If we kind of squint and blur our vision, we can really know how that works, because we've been studying animals and study. Cool? Okay. All right, Paul, what are your thoughts here? What is it looking like?
I think it's like an animal that's stretched and then kind of like huddles back to like itself.
Forget about the animal and what the animal's doing. What's the attitude? How do you like describe this? If each one of these spheres was two independent characters, what would be happening here?
I have no idea.
I mean, is one more aggressive than the other one?
The red one is more like, I guess it's gonna like hit him, and then the blue one is like looks like he's dodging it, I guess.
Yeah, I agree. It looks like, what do we got here? We got like an launching at him here. Then we got like you said, like a little bit of a dodge this way, right? Isn't that very, very interesting? So you described it as red kind of, jumping towards blue, and blue like dodging it, like, oh shit, get out of the way. And what is it? What's happening here?
Yeah, the animal's like startled, so it's running away.
We have a, oh shit, get out of the way, right? So we can really, really see, don't think of this like, oh, we're trying to guess what animal it is. We're going to try to guess the action. We're going to, no, forget about that. Look at the attitude of the motion, and you nailed it. It was red sphere was trying to get onto blue sphere, and blue sphere was like, oh, guy, get out of the way. What's happening here? Something off screen is obviously scaring the living crap out of this thing. And what is it doing? Trying to get out of the way. Right? And it's showing that in the body. What are we seeing here? We're seeing a rise in here, a lower and a dodge in here, to tell that very clear story.